Welcome back to another episode of Junk Jaw Reseller Podcast. We're at the kitchen table today. My name is Jay.
I'm Kenny, Delmarva Deals.
And I'm Ray.
Thank you guys for tuning back in. You know, this is a little table talk today. A little bit different than what you guys are looking at. You know, you usually see us in squares, but we're in one big square today, all of us together. And not only that, Ray set us up. We're going live on Instagram. So everybody got Instagram? You don't know me? My name's Jay.
My name's Kenny.
I'm Ray.
Thanks for joining us in, too. I do appreciate it, guys. Really, let's just jump right into it. How was your guys' week?
I'm just getting back started listing things. Kind of went through, what everybody would call dead, your death pile or whatever. Just pulling out stuff, trying to pull out some of the higher dollar stuff and get reacclimated after moving and getting everything mixed up. And, it's just reorganization. Let's just say that. But sales, sort of a few things, but that's it. Again, I haven't touched the eBay store in a while. So.
Right. Yeah, it's a little different when you're running around doing everything else but eBay. I mean, even as a reseller, you have other things you got to take care of.
But in-person selling is actually great. I mean, because we get deals, in person. For everybody that doesn't know, we sell at the flea market. We sell at pretty low price, way below MSRP, and we kind of knock it out of the park. So thankfully, we're getting paid doing something.
That's right. How about your week, Rick?
I mean, it's fair. I mean, I've been listing a lot. A lot. It feels like it's been almost nonstop. I'm not even focusing on really anything else but listing and shipping. But I mean, at least I did have. I do want to say I had a really nice sale that Redskins helmet I sold.
Yeah.
It didn't even take long. It took like probably about a week for me listing it.
Guys, he owns the market on these Redskins.
Kenny bought one.
Yeah.
He did
Marketplace.
it the right way though, because he sold his market through Marketplace, got $300 cash. Mm-hmm. Now by the time after fees, after I sold mine, I'm looking at around like $350
with no return on Marketplace.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
But so yesterday I had that dreaded eBay notification noise pop up.
Wow, I know.
and I seen the image of that helmet. I'm like, my heart just I'm like, oh no, I don't want to open this. I really do not. I do not want to open this. But I did, and he was actually very happy. He just said he was so happy to have one in mint condition and everything. And so
no return.
Yes.
Good, that worked. Good.
God.
It's always great when you see, some of those items that you guys ship out, and it's like, man, you don't know if you have this gut feeling that something's going to happen, somebody want to do a return, and then you get that positive feedback, and it's like, that's always a plus. I mean, 99.9% sure it's great, but they still can return it after that.
What's crazy when you're laying there at nighttime, like 3 a.m, and you're feeling happy, you're dozing off, and you hear that sound. Oh my God! I swear to God, my heart, whether it's good or bad news, I can't go back to sleep after that. It's like getting punched in the gonads, while you're trying to use the bathroom, right? Like,
I've never been punched in the gonads.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're being choked out by
reseller misery.
By Sean Strickland.
We got any watchers on live?
Let me see.
Guys, got any questions? Drop it down.
I think we might have one.
One. You better call your buddies up. Put them on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This ain't their slipper.
There. I mean, this is our first time going live.
It is.
So we're doing this. So if anybody is on live, they've never seen us before, they can check us out right now in action.
Or if you want us to do something stupid on live, let us know. I'm up for anything.
Yeah, $20. $20.
$20, bro. eBay sales has been slow. You know what I mean? You're talking like, you want to hear some noises. This is not brought to you by Arizona, RJ flavored tea.
Well, we got water, so
Yeah, we got water.
good.
The orange is pretty good.
H2O.
Arizona RJ is pretty good. But so the yard sale season is about to kick in.
Dude, that's already kicking.
I mean, yeah, it is, but I mean, it's going to even get stronger.
Yeah, Memorial Day, you know.
So what kind of? I know you guys had some good pickups this weekend. I know you had a couple pickups.
Yeah. I mean, you want to go first? Did you have
No,
any-
go ahead, yeah.
Okay. Well, I went to a community yard sale, and it's crazy because this year that community sale was the worst it's ever been, and I don't know if it's because if it was the weather that was kind of pending, it was supposed to rain, but it was clear the whole time I was picking, but somebody actually took down the yard sale signs for this sale. And people were going up to some of the houses and all like, oh, I didn't know you guys were still having it. I didn't see any of the signs. You know, like there are people driving around the neighborhood, but there was plenty of houses, so I don't think that was even really an issue. But there really wasn't hardly anything. I really bought out one whole entire table, probably about this size, completely filled of sports memorabilia. And so, I mean, there was a lot of it in the junk. It's not really going to be very sought after stuff. But then I like buying stuff like that because there's always like a few pieces that really make it fun or make it worthwhile. Sure. And the one piece I found was in there. I have no idea what it's worth exactly. I did list it last night, but I don't know the real value. I just kind of threw a number out there. But it's the movie The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. What's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? The guy that
John Favreau?
No, well, he's in it, but the guy that just passed away.
Oh,
he was the coach.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name right
this
second, but
yeah, now that's gonna bother me. But he was in the movie, but they filmed all the football scenes in that movie at the Ravens Stadium, the Baltimore Ravens Stadium. Yeah. So this is like an official souvenir program from that event. Like I don't really know how they filmed there, but like
now was it like a prop from the movie? Like, hey, is it a background poster, or was it an actual like commemorative poster that they gave?
No, it's a program. So, but I have no idea if
that's what I'm saying. Is it a fictional?
It might be, and maybe just close up on camera. Like maybe they gave all the extras them so they have them in their hands and stuff like that. Yeah. But I can't find one anywhere. There's an image of one if you go on Google and you can see an image of one, but it's really just a reference to the different logos that they used and images they used in the movie. I can't find one for sale. There was never one on Worth Point. There was, obviously eBay, nothing like, if there's not one on Worth Point at all, that tells you that there's never even really probably been one for sale.
Well, that's another thing. If they're giving it to the extras and the extras had it in, say if one's holding it up in the movie, I would think that's still considered a prop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also.
Mm-hmm. And on a separate note, in the 90s, I remember the fact that you said that, the movie Major League with Charlie Sheen was filmed here at Camden Stadium.
Yeah, Camden Yards, yeah.
Our grandmother was an extra for the movie.
Really?
She was one of the people in the stands, they hired, gave a couple bucks to stay at the stand.
Was she really?
Yeah. She worked at the convention center. Yeah. And they went to the convention center and asked any of the employees if they wanted to be. She was an extra. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she and one of her coworkers. I can't remember the lady's name.
Wow.
Yeah, she was was she actually on camera? Probably not. She was like a one of 10,000 people, right? Like,
Well, I heard her say so he went to that yard sale and the people took down some signs. Like, I wonder if they took down the signs because when less people come there, so you don't have as much competition.
Yeah,
to get things.
Yeah.
You guys ever did anything or wanted to do anything or seen people do anything that keeps the competition away from getting things?
I've heard people setting up fake yard sales and putting them on like yard sale treasure map app or Facebook and
to make people
spend.
Yeah. Like, they got video games, they got antiques, vintage shirts, and everything. Like,
would you ever do that?
I can't do that. And I don't really need to. There's so much crap out there.
Yeah.
Seriously, like if
I don't
you
have
need
enough
to do
time.
that, you really don't.
What's up with that screen?
Uh-oh.
It just did that.
Let me see. Gotta check.
Well, why he said that, a couple weeks ago, I did pick up a big load of like vintage pens and pencils from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So here's a little bolo, maybe for the people live and recording. 90s Papermate PhD pens and pencils, right? You wouldn't think they were actually worth something. They're like $40, $50, $60 a piece, especially the ones in the package. I mean, you can usually see them, they have like a double heart and PhD written on the pen. But if you got them in the package, them and like Parker Jotter pens. So I pick up weird stuff. Oh, and one more little thing is C&D Visionary Misfits incense burner. It's a little stone. It's a Misfits it's the bands. It has the skulls. It's like $50, $60. Used. It's just a little slab of rock. That's incense burner. Misfit. It says Misfits on it. It's like real weird.
Yeah, anything Misfits is good though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's just like this underground.
I mean, and the lesser amount of money is like I picked up some Yu-Gi-Oh figures from the 90s, Bandai figures. But other than that, I haven't really bought anything other than our regular, loads of like a 75-inch television, Power Washer,
Yeah.
things that you and I picked up. A bunch of jerseys.
I was busy. I didn't pick up anything, I don't think.
Other than our regular.
Dude, I mean, you're moving, and unpacking and stuff like that. Like, I don't think many people could source too much if they're doing all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you already have stuff in the house that you're unpacking and cluttered, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, my wife gets mad at me every time I even bring stuff in the house, and I haven't moved in 5 years.
Not counting, we have a gigantic storage unit that's filled right now.
Yeah.
With stuff, so.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah.
Even the walkway is filled.
Maybe we'll do a live on Instagram and we can sell some stuff out to people at wholesale prices. You guys want to buy it?
Yeah.
We're good with that. You know what I mean? You can make some money off of us.
Live wholesaling.
Yeah. Hey,
why not?
Yeah. Who needs to go to Whatnot or anywhere else?
You don't need to go to Whatnot. Just come over to John Jaw. We got you. We got your sports cards needs. We got
75-inch television.
75. Yeah, we got your.
You need a snowblower.
Yeah. You gotta ship a snowblower.
I absolutely will. It's brand new in a box. I'll put some cardboard around it, put Fragile, and ship it out.
We got your Redskins helmets. Whatever you need, bro. I mean,
your vintage pens and pencils from Scripto.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Ray's got your autographed Funkos.
Yeah, I don't have that many of them for sale. I have a little bit, but not too many.
But he's got
Yeah. Yeah.
them. He's got them.
I'll tell you, I got a lot of comic books I got to go through. I mean, it's nice ones too. It's just some of them, like about 4 weeks ago, about a month ago, I picked up a whole box of like 100 Spider-Man comics, from 80s and 90s.
That's when I was there, right?
Yeah, it was a whole box full of them. Individually, they're on average only worth about $5, $6. But if you bundle them together, you got a few $100 in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
And anybody wants a gigantic run of Spider-Man comics, I got you.
I got a lot of comics myself I gotta go through. I don't like going through comics really a lot.
I do. I like looking at them, to be honest with you. That's why I don't usually sell them as fast, because I actually do like looking at them.
What's the artwork on it?
It's
really cool.
And it's iconic. And I can go through a box and just see the image of the front of the cover of the comic and know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because I'm into that kind of stuff, that anime and stuff.
Dude, it was so funny though, because I remember that day, and it was dark, still dark out. You know what I mean? There was nothing really out there too much yet. It wasn't even light out, but there was some people set up, and I had gotten there, and Kenny already bought a bunch of stuff, and he's like, oh, you don't got to worry about me, competition or anything. I'm not buying anything else.
Yeah.
I'm already done for the day. Basically the first aisle we went down. You're stuck down there for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just digging.
Yeah. I mean, I can't help it. I mean, I try to hit people before they actually lay it out on their tables, and they can actually get a handle on how much something's worth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I hit them real fast and hard, and you know, and I give them that offer that's really, really good, but it's not really good. Like they could actually sell it for more, but I just make it sound like it's great, and then they'll sell me a whole box of stuff. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, it's like one of those things. Like you like to, no matter what. Like even I'm sure when you guys are out there selling, you know, to get that first sale of the day, just to get it flowing, to get it moving, and
you know,
and
sometimes
break the ice.
You know, sometimes, sometimes, but we already know, like after about 10 minutes of setting boxes up, we're gonna be just enamored with people. Like we're gonna just everybody around is gonna be mad because all the customers are gonna be just grappling us like zombies.
But you broke the ice pretty good,
with them bikes.
Yeah, last weekend.
I know, he came and he was like, "Are you sure you want to sell them for that?" Yeah, kind of, because 2 of those bikes were, you know, had flat tires. They were kind of needed some work, and you know somebody was going to try to get us down lower and lower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, maybe we could have held on doing it, got an extra $20 maybe out of the whole deal. But again, I didn't have to worry about trying to watch over them all day long for an extra $15 or whatever it is. You know, so
yeah.
You know, I still got a good deal out of it.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that the one lady walked up and she wanted to buy them from you, and they're like, "No, you got to go down there and buy them from him now."
But she wasn't going to give me any more. She wanted them $20 a piece.
Yeah.
You know, she was like, "Oh, I need them for my 3 kids." You know, I wanted to get them on the cheap, like $15, $20 a piece. I'm like, I sold them more than that, right? Like, so why was I going to hold on to them for you to give me 60 when I just sold them for 85?
Yeah.
You know, why would I do that? It just don't make any sense.
Yeah, true.
And then she tried to use her female, her loins to try to get me to release the bike store for $20 a piece. It doesn't work for me, lady. Sorry.
Okay. Early bird gets the worm. You gotta...
Yeah, she's an early bird. She wants the worm.
You ain't getting this one. She was a butterface anyway. Everything go butterface.
Oh my gosh. So,
Jump Show, Reseller Podcast.
Yeah. So I know.
Oh, okay.
No. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that the Junk Jaw Reseller Words of Wisdom, the weekly Words of Wisdom. Here they are. This is from an ancient Chinese philosopher. His name was Confuse Me Wrong, right? That was his name, Confuse Me Wrong. And here was his words of wisdom. He said, "It is really, really good to meet girl in park, but it's much better to park meet and girl." Now that was the Junk Jaw Reseller Podcast weekly Words of Wisdom.
Okay.
Brought to you by Arizona.
No. All right. So,
everybody ever watch Facebook? You're gonna know that's a old meme. But for the Ray don't have an aneurysm here.
let me see. So I'm trying to find it. What was it? Was it last week or a week before? Yeah, because I think I couldn't pull it up last week. It was the roast that I had ChatGPT.
Right. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm offended.
So let me see. Where'd it go? Because I have a couple of them. All right.
ChatGPT
We'll go. Here's one. It says, "Meet Jay, the fearless leader who thinks the best offer is a life philosophy. He's flipped more broken electronics than Radio Shack during his final days."
I wish. Radio Shack flipped a lot of broken.
Yeah.
And this is what they say. You said it's not broken; it's for parts.
Yeah, it's for parts.
Then there's Ray, the data guy, who can tell you the exact profit margin on a Beanie Baby, but still forgets to charge for shipping.
No.
I always charge.
Oh, charge. What are they talking about?
And don't forget Kenny, the wild card. Some say he's a sourcing legend. Oh, there you go.
I am.
Others say he's just a guy who got lost in Goodwill once and never came back. There's more. Let me see that because that wasn't even the good ones.
I can do better than that.
Let's see. All right, here we go. Jay is the fearless leader of the
Why
Dutch
do you call me a fearless leader?
That's not me. That is ChatGPT. Apparently, you're the leader. We're the followers. That's great.
I'm not the leader. This is a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Tom.
All right, Jay is the fearless leader, and by fearless, I mean he's not afraid to call a broken coffee maker vintage if it means getting $10 plus shipping. He talks about reselling like it's Wall Street, but this man's biggest investment is a Rubbermaid tote of expired printer ink.
Dude, what? I got a whole box of expired printer ink. Dude, I ain't lying to you, dude. I bought it from the house.
How did know? Oh my God.
I do.
All right. Ray is the numbers guy, which is rich because his math is so bad, he thinks free shipping adds to his profit. He's out there dropping reseller facts like Mondays are slow. Thank you. You might know Ray from his famous segment, Ray's eBay Reselling Report, also known as Here's What Didn't Sell This Week.
Dude, we did raise eBay's
Yeah, we did.
selling report, dude.
What didn't sell this week? That's true. Well, that's I don't know. That's eBay for you, dude. All right, Kenny, bless his heart. Kenny's the wild card.
He's a wild card.
Mainly because no one knows if he's actually awake during the podcast. He'll chime in with something like, "Yo, I found a dirty sock for 25 cents and put $1." And everyone claps like he just discovered fire.
Thank you for your right applause.
That's funny.
And I'm not paying 25 cents. A dime, maybe.
He did lay down last week.
I did. I took a nap.
Yeah.
It should have popped up as like, meet Ray. He thinks Trader Joe's is his competition on Poshmark.
Oh my gosh. But
they're all kind of corny, you know.
Yeah, I know.
They probably give that to everybody, you know.
Well, I don't know. It was like
They just took a name.
I'm not very good at math, so it knows that. It knows about Jay's expired printer ink.
You're trying to say they're all listening to every device is listening to you, fellas.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they'll know.
Yeah.
They'll know.
So, did I talk about it last week about the whole thing with Poshmark?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just how I'm still seeing it, but there's so many people that are just making a bigger deal than what I think it really is. Like they're nonstop complaining about, that they can't end or delist and relist the same item and that kind of stuff. Like, so what?
People are going to make big deals out of that, all that stuff. I mean,
we shouldn't have to pay for a service.
What they're trying to stop that thing that you do on eBay is end and relist the same item to get a new item number, and
they're trying to do
that's
that
what they're trying
too?
to. Well, no, that's what they're trying to stop that, right? Because they're realizing that's how you're tricking the algorithm.
Yeah, well, because it pushes the item back up to the top.
Yep, and it messes up their calculations on who should get what.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to stop that,
Going live, my wife is texting me.
Oh yeah.
She said, "I got you a brochure for the massage place next door to my work. 60 minutes, $80.
Here, are you gonna be like Justin Tucker?
That's not bad yet. Justin Tucker. I got rid of him.
Yeah, dude. We seen at the show too, at that card show, how cheap some of his stuff. Like we were blowing out. They were blowing out some of his bobbleheads and
What was it? The guy you knew, he had the big bobblehead, Justin Tucker. It was like $8, $12. I don't remember how much it was, dude. It was like a bit in the box.
What one bad year will do?
Yeah.
One bad year, you got to go.
Well, yeah, he had a bad year, and not only that, he was getting rubbing tugs, and people were coming out and saying,
Who cares?
well,
It's a new form of massage.
it's a bad look for the team, you know.
Oh, you can go to Florida and stab a couple people, and then they build a statue out front of the stadium for you. Boy, you get a couple rubbing tugs, and they're going to kick you off the team, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, he was found innocent.
That didn't mean he didn't do it. He still
It doesn't.
Well, no, he still did it. Ray Lewis still stabbed his people. He was just found innocent of actually what he was charged with. He actually did what he did. He just wasn't found guilty.
I don't know.
But that's a hard one to say.
Yeah. It is. And, I mean, there's a lot of things.
Allegedly. Okay, we'll say allegedly.
Well, I think once you're found innocent, I mean, you should be innocent.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, you might be innocent of murder, but that doesn't mean you kill somebody.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you can still do it, but
There's plenty of people who've killed people who were found innocent of murder.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right?
But I don't know if they did him or not. Like, I don't know if he killed anybody. I don't know 100% know he did.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean,
it
nobody really.
goes both ways, though, because somebody could not done anything and then they get...
Absolutely.
And then get in trouble.
Now, on that note, I'm going to bring it back and reselling. Has a buyer ever accused you of doing something that you didn't do?
Wow, I was going to take it to reselling in a second.
Yes. So I sold a Batman figure for like $2.99 plus shipping. That was the lowest one there. The figure's like $7 or $8, whatever. I just put it on there just to get rid of it because I got it in a big old deal. This was probably about 8 months ago. So he messaged me back. He gets the figure, and he accused me of knowing that I guess the back of his neck was cut, and you could push the head forward some. That I purposely cut it, and he knew that I did it, and sent it to him. That's exactly what's wrong with eBay and myself. Do you actually think I purposely cut the back of the Batman's head at $2.99 and sent it to the guy?
You did.
Well, my question following up to that was going to be, would you guys still resell, like if somebody was accused of something bad and they had products there, we'll say, i.e., for an example, say Puff Daddy CDs, right? Like if they were valuable and they were worth money, would you feel okay selling it on eBay or any platform, or at what limit? Where would you stop? Just, controversial figures. Would you sell, you say, Trump stuff on eBay, right? Like, or any controversial thing, right? Like,
I mean, I think when it comes to stuff like that, it's still like, what's that one basketball card with the brothers?
Oh, yeah, it's Mark Price.
Yeah,
with the brothers killed the father.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
the
Mendez. Yep. That card sells pretty good all the time.
It does.
And especially when they just came out, they just had that documentary, what is it, earlier this year or last year?
Yep.
Whenever it was. I know I had that card listed and it sold. But, it's just one of those things, I guess, I think it depends on how I feel about it. If it's something, it's not good. I don't know.
Me personally, I'll sell anything to anybody at any time. As long as it's legally allowed, I'll do it. Right?
Yeah.
Because, I'm just there for the consumer. As a business person, my fiduciary responsibility is the profit of my business. And so if it's legally allowed to be able to be sold, I don't care how controversial it is.
Well, me on the other hand,
with the exception, I will say, with the exception, as long as it doesn't contradict with my religion, right? I will say that. That's the only other exception.
Like I won't sell KKK items, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
No, that's just offhand.
Well, there's
Well,
a
you
lot
can't anyway.
Yeah,
eBay will.
yeah. So that's
Confederate flag.
Well, we were just talking about eBay.
Or most won't let you do that. Except for I think Macari will allow you to do Confederate flags.
Well, even
most places
if they were allowed, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. It's just not. It's not worth it.
Well, yeah, but that's against my religion anyway.
I mean,
Connor,
the thing is, look, I was gonna say, like, I mean, like, at the end of the day, history, you know, it's going to be good or bad, but then there are certain things like limitations, like what you said today, that you should never have any interest in selling. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just there are limitations, and I think that's where the limitation goes. But I think when it comes back to like if one single person committed a crime, and you're selling their stuff or something, I think it's still a little bit different. Like, I don't know, it's like it's still something that I mean, it's just one single person. It's instead of all.
Well, think about it. I mean, we'll sell like O.J. Simpson cards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say one thing that kind of follows what we're talking about. I accidentally sold not accidentally, but I sold a DVD that was actually Nazi propaganda in the positive, and I didn't realize it, right? I just thought it was like some documentary movie, right? And then I found that after I sold it, what it was, and I was like, oh man, I felt kind of bad. You technically weren't allowed to sell it on eBay. It was just accidental. I didn't know what the movie was about, right? I thought it was some documentary. And technically, it's a positive propaganda in the favor of Nazism, right? Like, I wouldn't have sold it, probably. I'd have sold it somewhere else, at least, you know.
Like, yeah, and now I have this thing, like, this past, like, year and a half or so, 2 years, I won't sell tarot cards.
You won't? I do.
No, I won't get my religion, bro.
Yeah. I know.
I did sell mine just to get rid of them, but yeah, I don't plan on doing it anymore.
I did it, but I'm not going to do it again. Another thing I sold that back in the day, is before I got really, hardcore, I guess, was I got from magic shops. It was satanic, like, ashtrays from like people that were let's say like presidents of like cults and stuff that made these things, and I sold them. They were vintage.
We're going down a really bad rabbit hole with everything.
No, not really. I mean,
No,
because that's the limitations of selling, right?
Yeah,
Like, what is the minutia and the metaphysical way you think about reselling, right? Like, some people won't resell things because, I just don't do big things. Well, I don't do things because it's against
true.
my morals or something, right?
Yeah,
like,
true.
It's all part of reselling. It's just,
But I'll tell you what, you go into a place and, I got the stuff out of a magic shop for free. Is people go to magic places, and then there was like presidents of like cults, and they do things and give it to people. Dude, this stuff's worth a fortune. I mean, you got to imagine there's just a whole sector of people that buy and sell and collect this type of stuff.
yeah.
You're talking about mummified hands.
There's communities of collectors. There's a buyer for everything out there, regardless. You know what I mean? But I mean, you want this cup with this little bit of water left? You can sell that. Somebody out there will buy it
because your lips touched it.
Well, I can't remember if we talked about this. I think you might have had. But I think the first thing we sold on eBay, well, as far as I remember, we had haunted boxes, and we sold on eBay years and years and years ago, 2006 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And we actually left the phone number, and they would call, and I would say I was Xavier Astiar, or made up some weird name, and I would speak to them in an accent, telling them that how haunted it was, and I'd left a demon in the box, and I sealed it, you shouldn't open it, blah, 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 blah. And we did it a couple times, and we made good money selling these boxes.
You guys,
you got to think that was 20 years ago,
But you guys definitely weren't the only ones doing that, because I feel like every time when I was doing the funny quiz through ChatGPT or whatever, didn't it bring up like something about a haunted box or something like that? Like what? Like that? I didn't know. I never even knew that was a thing. And so,
It was a huge thing.
And on a totally separate note, but that's kind of funny. At the same time, I think that same night we listed that box, I drank too much, and I told my brother to hit me in the stomach. And then I said, "Look, I took a punch from a grown man. Email the UFC." And my sister-in-law emailed the UFC for me to go fight the UFC. And they never did get back to me, though. Yeah. This was 20 years ago, though.
I can't read the comments on here. I'm not sure why.
Oh, yeah. Is there
any comments or anybody joining? There's some people that joined. So if you guys are, looks like we only got one person. It's probably me. Oh, man, we suck. Look, we got a fair bit of followers on Instagram, so that's why I figure we try it.
Well, to be fair, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes,
Well, so a lot of other places too. They're I mean, they pick on Fridays. There's a lot of other states. There's plenty of yard sales on Fridays.
Yeah, there's a lot of places.
We do not have that.
We don't have that here.
Nope.
I do not understand it.
Well, you know, right up the street, the church right up the street, May 17th is their flea market. $10 a space.
Yeah.
I was thinking, well, I wonder if we should set up there.
Hell no. Dude, we got to install.
No, I know, but I mean, we might. I always think about that, like, you know, it's at one time.
For the day.
Well, no, I was thinking it was it's that one-off thing where there's probably going to be a ton of people there, and we might be able to make twice as much. But I don't know.
Me and
right?
Jay went last year and walked around and wasn't really.
I've been to that flea market every year.
Dude,
That's
so
5 years.
I drove by. I remember last year, first thing in the morning when there were some people setting up. I went down to the park, the Heritage Park flea market, right? Literally went there. He went out. Where'd you go? Like Kingsville or something? Or, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He went all the way out to Kingsville. I went from there to the one in Essex, where the same one I was behind you guys all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that same area. So I was out at that one. He met up with me out there, and then we both ended up driving down to this one. And I think there was a good bit of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was late in the day.
Ah, okay.
You know what I mean? That goes to show that there wasn't that many people who went there.
Okay.
But
yeah, like you said, we have a built-in customer base with generating profit. We know about what we're going to make every weekend. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I just like stretching out something new.
I know. Well, it is nice to have something new. It'd be something new if you had another person.
That's
to
what I
go
was
work.
going to say. Maybe we can set up a dollar thing there.
Yeah.
Well,
and one of us can go there
that's what I was trying to say. Is like, look, there's two of you guys.
because it's right down the street.
Yeah. You could literally just one of you guys set up there, and then one just does a flea market. It'd be no different, you know. And then you have two sources.
Yeah, two sources of money.
Yeah, because that way, that money at the flea market, you know, that's going to.
Yeah, and we already know that one of us could do the flea market. We've both done work the flea market by ourselves, so we know we can handle it.
Or what you do, just set up right out. Well, I don't know if you'll be able to. You might have trouble, but you could just set up.
I think set right outside. I'm not going to do it.
I know, but it doesn't matter. She's the new neighbors already.
Don't you guys love your neighbors?
You want to tell that story?
Yeah. Now, any of these people just your neighbor, dude. I'm just saying. I don't know if you got neighbors. I got these new neighbors. They're just they're just something else.
Remember, we're resellers.
Yeah, think we're out there selling, and they think we're selling drugs. Like, you know what? No, I just don't even.
What were you selling?
We weren't selling anything.
No, I thought you were selling something.
We were buying.
Oh, you're buying. Okay. Well, either way, like if somebody comes over and sells you something, or you
Bro,
sell
it was
something,
2 carloads.
But-
You could clearly see what it was.
No. I'm not. I'm saying that they're in the wrong. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you one time or a couple times of that or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're allowed to sell or buy stuff out of your house.
Right, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Why would you even care, though, is the question.
Yeah.
Like, it's so stupid.
As long as you don't have a full-on shop set up here, ain't nobody gonna.
Have you guys ever had any, like, nosy, bitchy neighbors that just got into your business when you're trying to resell or bring stuff in your house and you bought at the flea market or something? Excuse my language, but it irritates you because it's like, just stay out of my business. This is, my reselling business. Who cares if I'm bringing, 15 bins of merchandise in? It's none of your business.
Yeah.
What I'm doing. It's crazy.
It doesn't. People just need to mind their own business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just mind your business. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mind your business.
Give your husband some Viagra and shut your mouth.
Now, I think you guys should at least maybe consider this flea market at that church show because, I mean, we even said like it would have been nice if you could set up right up front. Not you just set up a sign. You don't have to take it down there or nothing. You just
right.
Well, where Jay's house is.
Bathroom to piss.
Well, I would say put it up on the sidewalk, because across the street from Jay's house is, where the street is, and there's places to pull over.
Yeah.
That would actually technically be a good place to set up because then you have spaces where you can just park.
Well,
pull over.
but the thing is, so where that church is, people pull in like they don't even pull into that parking lot because that's all reserved for the dealers.
They pull over on the side.
Yeah, so I usually park on this road anyway, right here, to be able to go down there, or I park down the other one. But either way, you usually have to go this way.
And you
set
can
up a
catch
yard sale
everybody.
sign. Yeah. If you had a yard sale sign near that flea market saying yard sale this way,
Well, they would see you when they had to leave anyway.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it'd be a great spot. You guys could make a killing there. I mean, I had the one church on near my house that a lot of times when they would set up, I tried to set up too, just to try to get the people from there
over there.
But they don't tell anybody till like the day before, like set Friday evening. They'll put signs out.
I tell you, your neighborhood, when you guys did that flea market, when you first came, that was one of my great year pickups, dude.
Really?
We filled up the pickup truck. We could have got all them hats. Then I bought that Nintendo collection down the road from you. I mean, literal boxes of games.
Yeah, remember that? And it said videotapes or something.
Yeah.
Guess we're not live anymore.
We're not live no longer.
Oh no!
Yeah, it froze.
Oh well.
Well, reset the live. He's gonna see shit. You're gonna have two lives.
Nah, it's dead. It must have fell off the charger.
Oh man. Yeah.
It's alright.
No, that was one of the greatest, dude. Right across the street from your house was all those hats.
What did it say? It said on the bin. It said
video
tapes or something,
tapes.
and it was Nintendo games.
And systems, and it was just. I mean, it must have had 500
It was like 3 or 4
manuals.
bins, wasn't it? 3 bins worth of stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah. 3 or 4 bins. Just
I think
filled.
one was a box or something, but whatever.
Yeah, one was a box, nothing but
Manuals.
like Super Nintendo manuals.
And Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah. Remember, you still have some of them, don't
It was
you?
100. I sold everything. I now might have some.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying over there, because we see the small box, you had a stack,
Yeah.
nice stack of manuals.
I mean, that was that was the same one I got.
Mhm.
You got all them Star Wars. Dude, it was like
Yeah, we're going to have to set up another whatnot show,
like
too.
it's down the road, dude. It was
Really?
We got stacks and stacks of bins just filled with video game stuff.
Still.
Yeah, we still got maybe 1,200 pieces.
Are they doing that the video game convention you guys set up at? Are they doing another one eventually?
next year.
No.
Another year.
No, they're doing one in 2 months. They haven't.
Are they?
Yeah, Jesse told me, another friend of ours who does Transformers and games, some stuff like that, said they sent them out an email that they're doing one somewhere else, another place, the same people, but at another location. So either it slipped through and I didn't see the email, or they just didn't send me one.
Okay.
So, but they are doing another one, I think in 2 months, July. Yeah, he just told me this weekend.
Well, hopefully you guys if you guys get into that, because I think you guys did pretty good there. You guys
We did, and it was
the whole time.
Yeah, I think we would have done better if we would have set up different or had 2 spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
And
what happened, we had so many people, and people walked by and wanted to get in, but they couldn't because there was so many people.
Yeah.
And maybe had another person with us too.
And took credit cards.
And took credit cards.
Yeah. I would have set up with you guys if I had more video games. I just didn't have that much. I would have probably.
We had the video game part covered though, right?
Yeah, you could have set. That's what I said. You
50%. 50%.
50% had to be video games.
You gotta think the guy that I was just talking about, his name's Jesse, all he had was Transformers and some toys.
And he had some video games.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have many video games.
Yeah.
A Wii U, I think he had a few other stuff.
Yeah, maybe I should have. But I don't know.
Yeah, because we got to start looking into doing that, maybe working together more on that too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only bad part of that is you hate that when a lot of times they're on Saturdays, and you hate to lose your regular people on Saturdays and that regular money to go do that money.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, Saturdays
maybe
are
they can
tough.
split up or something.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Saturdays, I think, are just tough because, like I said, I don't like being tied down on a Saturday somewhere when I can, because I want to be able to hop around, maybe be able to go buy stuff. The thing is, Saturday's the best day to sell So
And the best day to buy.
Yeah. So like,
How the best day to buy? So how do you go around doing it?
Yeah. I'm only one person. I wish I just had a clone. And you're like, all right, go off and look for this stuff
Go
at
do
this yard sale.
I'm here.
Well, actually, no, that's the fun part. You just sit here and sell for me. That's what I would do.
You know, to be truthful with you, I do like picking. I also like selling, though.
I do too.
I enjoy selling.
Yeah.
I have fun messing with people, you know. I haven't done it recently because, you know, I'm getting back into the mix of things, but I haven't had to do that. You know, for people don't know, I stand out there and yell, you know, you pick, you pull, you pay, buy something nice, pretend you love your family, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have to yell no more. We done got to a customer base where it's just like automatic, and they already know, and we actually do just as good as yell.
They already know what they're doing. We've already trained their minds to be able to go and do what they do.
Yeah.
For the most part, 99% of our
we train their customers. Their customers are trained.
Yeah. Except, well, sometimes like, how much are prices today? They do that always every week now because you guys did that before, and now they're partially trained to be like, oh, how much is all this stuff today? Because you did like the $3. Everything was $3.
And we always tell them, when we do $1 days, we'll let you know. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're going to let you know. You will automatically know that it's $1 day or 2 for $3.
It's been a while since you guys had one, though.
It has. Yeah, but it's hard because we're always getting Walmart. And there's things that are like, and Walmart stuff is $100, $20, $10, and it's hard to be like, and there's no one set price.
Well, like you have to go through it beforehand, and then that's
but that's
But
3 days worth of work.
What if you guys, when you were cleaning stuff up, you had a couple boxes put aside, and like, okay, you just quick in your mind, okay, that's $1.
But that's what we usually do. We used to take the higher
and
price
just mark
stuff out.
just mark the box, and then like once every other month.
But you know what happens there, right? Here's the problem. There is an issue when you take out all the good stuff, and then you take only the good stuff. 75% of your customers don't have the money for that good stuff, and they like the $1 to $10 items. They're not there to buy the $40, $50 items, right?
Yeah.
So that's also
they want things for $3. They want things for, they want those because that's what. All right, I only got we only got a couple dollars in our household, but they'll come and spend it with us,
or I can get 4 things for $10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they like that.
Yeah.
Really, what I think what Kenny and I maybe think about looking and maybe trying to do, I kind of talked about it, was finding somebody who could start selling stuff. Go in there and just, do some type of, give them some type of.
If you're in the Maryland, Baltimore, Dundalk, Baltimore County area, and you think you can handle our output, leave a message,
Yeah. I mean,
drop us a resume, whatever, and maybe we can work something out.
Or maybe come on as percentage, just do.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll do a nice percentage where you'll make, if you can sell things and however you do your outlet,
you'll make more than most other places are paying.
Yeah.
And if you really put your mind to it, it could be a 6-figure salary every year. Easy. It's just, if you want to actually work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not hard work, it's just work.
Yep.
40-hour week, have a $100,000 salary. I mean, I wish I had that opportunity.
Yeah.
When I was younger,
I mean, because technically, it's almost like they're buying. You think about it. They could basically have the stuff to sell, actually buying in.
Yeah, they don't have to spend their money.
Yeah.
You can be like, listen, I know what I'm doing. Listen, I say I got a Facebook joint. We could do this, and here's take the product and sell it, and then we'll do a percent. I'm talking about we would probably give a great percentage on stuff that we're not,
And soon we're going to be doing lives and whatnot at our storage unit because I just got a computer for the storage unit, and we're going to start doing stuff over there.
Okay.
So we can have processing, and I'm just going to go ahead and get the hotspot unlimited plan, just so we have internet,
Yeah.
But we're ready to start. See, I would like to get a lot, half of that cleaned out one side.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start buying different, really good stuff. Like, bulks of different stuff. So I'd like to find somebody who can go and hustle.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I had this when I was 21, 22
Me
years old.
too. That's what I'm saying.
I was a hustler, bro. I hustled. I was a hustler.
Yeah.
Well, we hustled everything else, you know. And then those days, nobody had phones to figure out how much everything was worth. So you could just buy it in bulk loads, whole tables. Everybody, you know.
Isn't it crazy that, you know, because you see everybody at the flea markets, yard sales, and stuff like that, and they got their phone out. And I mean, I do sometimes too, but like, how in comparison to looking stuff up versus buying something off instinct, you know, or your knowledge, like what percentage do you think you guys are at, like, for that? Like, what?
Us personally, or you mean for our customers?
No,
No,
when you
like
buy
When we buy,
yeah.
oh,
Do you think it's more instinct, or do you think you need to like look something up? And, like,
90% of the time, it's for me personally. 90% it's just already instinct.
Yeah.
I already kind of know what's going to sell, what kind of doesn't, right? The other 10%, yeah, I do have to look up because sometimes, like I said, I buy weird stuff where it's like, is it worth what I'm going to pay
it's
for?
worth looking some random stuff up.
And I'm the type of person where I'm like 10% of the product to pay for 100% of the bill, right? So the other 90% is free, basically. That's what I like to do. I usually say 20 times, but I'm good with 10 times, right? Like, but that's what I do, right? Like, I'll spend $1 to make 20.
I guess my you know, on my side, my end, so it kind of matters on the seller. That one, so if the seller is expensive with this stuff, but it's something I know that can sell, I'll look it up just to double check myself, because if I got to pay up for an item, I want to make sure that item still stands.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, say 80% of the time, it's all instinct, or I know, because there's different outlets I could sell it at. I don't do as much as my personal flea market anymore, but if I can buy at a great price, I know what sells. I know what they even have to look it up, that I can resell it to a regular person. But yeah, I just say, 80% of the time, I don't need to look it up.
And I think now when we're reselling, like when we're selling at the flea market, we only look up, I would say only like 2% of items. Because we've done it so long, we already kind of know what goes for what. So, again, the things that we don't really see, we have to pull out just to see how much they actually sell for. Like,
it depends on the type of item.
Like a bicycle, right? Like we were talking about them bicycles earlier. I looked up the bicycle, it was a Huffy Rock Creek bicycle, and it looked more expensive than it was. It only went for $98, brand new at Walmart, right? Like, so, again, it looked more expensive, so I had to look it up, right? Yeah. But there's other things where it's just like most of the stuff, like this, we sold this before, it's only $5, right?
Exactly. No, I get it, because, like, I mean, I think I go through, like, time periods where I'm out about and I'm depending on my phone more than I need to, and that sometimes because I'm not really trying to buy, so I'm trying to give myself an excuse not to buy. Because how many times that I'm like, I see this whole table worth of stuff, I'm going to buy the whole entire table. Well, I need a reason to talk myself out of it. So maybe I'll just pick a few things out of it because I don't need everything.
And I think what happens, like he was saying, like if the seller is a little higher on his price, I have to check my margins, right? But if he's low enough where it's just like, I don't even need to check
exactly.
it.
Like,
I know by piece, I could just resell it for $1 a piece and double my money. Then I'm good.
Like if they want $20 for item, or versus $1 or $5, something like that. $5 even you might like, whatever, it's $5. But like when it's 20 to 50, or on a single item, that's when you're like, okay, how much?
We've all been in that situation where somebody was selling you 40 things for $20, where it was a no-brainer, right? Again, I could flip that for $1 a piece. I did with the pens, right? I paid $60 for 500 pieces or whatever it was. That's a no-brainer. Again, I could sell them for 50 cents a piece and make $250. And
well, isn't that the goal sometimes when you see like a whole big deal of something and you're just like, okay, I just need like 1 or 2 items to pay for everything, and everything else is profit, and then I'm in the clear. I can do whatever else I want with it. If I want to unload it real cheap, the rest of it real cheap, I will. If I need to.
2 pens. I have 2 pens that pays for everything. Technically, I probably do it with 1 pen, but 2 pens pay for all that. Yeah. And then the other 498 pieces are for free. So how could I couldn't turn it down. And there's like Parker Jotter gift sets. Like, I mean, I can't, I like deals like that, right? We do it all the time.
Well,
that's what we do.
Exactly. Now, I bought that whole table of that sports memorabilia at the yard sale over the weekend. So I spent $60 on a whole table worth of stuff. She had probably about maybe 6 to 8 baseballs with maybe about 3 or 4 of them were autographed, and some of them were game use baseballs. But she wanted $25 for them alone, so that's just like a small portion of the table. Everything else, I asked her what she wanted for everything else. She was at 80. I made an offer for 60, but my mind was, okay, the baseballs alone, the game used balls, I know I get at least $15 a piece on those each, and then there was like 2 of them there at least. So
$30.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, that's half my money back. It's very easy. There was a baseball bat in there. It was like an old, and it must have been a giveaway or something. It was still sealed in plastic. It was an Orioles giveaway. But then, like I said, when I got home, I found that program. Now, I want to say, because I never said the price, what do you guys think I listed it for? Just guess.
I would say $299.
$499.
So you're saying
I'm saying 500
and 300. Yeah, Kenny's right. So 500. So I threw it up there because I'm like, there's nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
might as well go big, girl.
Yeah, well, I was gonna do auction. I think I'm done with auctions.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't blame it.
I think that was my whole thought process. I used to do auction when I couldn't find something, so that way I'm happy. Like if I did auction, I was thinking about starting at 100, and I'm like, nah, because I could undersell it, so I could get one bidder.
Yeah, and that's it
for $101.
Yeah, exactly, and it's the only one that's ever been available. So if somebody is a big movie.
Did you put that in the title?
No, there wasn't enough space anymore. I don't. Did you guys run out of characters like that?
Yes.
Sometimes, yeah. Did you put it in a frame or no?
No.
Do you have a frame to put it in?
Yeah, but then
you should shop with us.
Huh?
You should shop with us. We'll find you a frame.
I have a frame, probably. He's trying to get me to spend money, right? Well, what a
Brought to you
salesman.
by Arizona, you know what I mean?
What a salesman.
Sell me this pen.
Yeah.
Shot with us, brought to you by Arizona. I was going to see, what is it, 57 minutes? For 57?
I like Arizona because he said, I'm never going to make it more than 99 cents.
Yeah, but then why can't you find it for more? I see him.
Well, that's somebody else popping them up.
Yeah, no, but they won't have the 99 cents. So they know what they're doing. They literally, if you go to other stores and they don't have the 99 cent
right.
logo on it.
7-Eleven is a good place for that.
Yeah. So, no.
But Arizona themselves were like, yeah, we don't sell more than 99 cents. Even the CEO was like, well, we'll take a loss before we change the price. It's not Arizona. It's other distributors raising the MSRP on it.
Yeah, but they could just put a stop at it. They could always sell 99 cents everywhere. They kept that on there.
Their distributors like 7-Eleven is probably saying, I want cans without that. And Arizona's fine with that because it's not them selling it, it's 7-Eleven selling it. You get what I'm saying?
It doesn't matter. I could go to Walgreens and buy these for 99 cents. Walgreens is the one selling it.
Yeah, but Arizona's not.
Arizona doesn't sell them anywhere themselves.
They do. They have
Where?
They have personal contracts with other stores. You know what I mean? You're just talking about a big store outlet. You see, this is 99 cents, right?
Yeah.
This is from a small gas station that probably went right directly from Arizona's distributor.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then 7-Eleven's big enough where to say, look, we want to sell it for more, and Arizona's like, well, you can sell it.
How much 7-Eleven's on one?
2 for $3.50.
So Arizona don't care what you sell them for.
No, Arizona's like, if we sell direct to the consumer, it's 99 cents.
They sell direct to the consumer?
Or directly to, the CEO said it, not me. Y'all can Google that. It's not me saying it. It's the CEO of Arizona was like, we don't want the customer to charge 99 cents when we sell it to them.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be like,
you can Google it right now.
You think they don't want to tell everybody, don't sell it for over $900.
When I worked at Rite Aid, we used to have sales where they were buy one get one free, or 2 for $1.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
We would get like the little shop down the street or something like that. You know, the convenience store down the street, little mom and pop shop. They come in and they buy
They
them
buy a
by
bunch
the
of
case,
Yep.
and then they sell them for 99 cents.
And they get 50 cents off of them.
Yep. So yeah, so they were buying and reselling Arizona teas.
Which is against, you're really not supposed to do that. I don't care though.
Yeah,
Who cares?
I know.
Well, I don't know.
Yes,
Well, I don't know.
his name's Don Volataglio, and the co-founder and CEO of Arizona Iced Tea has kept the price of his 22-ounce cans at 99 cents for the past 32 years. He attributes this decision to a combination of factors, including wanting to give back to consumers, ensuring affordability, and everyone the company's success and debt-free status.
If he really cared, he'd make sure 99 cents was on every.
Was on every can. Hey, really?
I know.
I don't believe it.
Well, you can tell because 7-Eleven sold for more money.
I know. And then why are they? Okay, how many cans are in a gallon? In the gallons, how many cans worth do you think?
Well,
How
it's
many ounces is
164 ounces, right? In a gallon, right?
Yeah.
So this is 22 ounces.
Okay, so how many
So
cans?
5, 6, 7, almost 8, 7 and a
I
half.
think that many.
Yeah. 22 times 7.
Okay.
140, 150.
So I feel like the gallons are always so expensive. I never
They
want.
are, ain't they?
I never want to buy them. They're like, yeah, because they are like $6 or $7. I mean, you think if we're buying in bulk like that,
Mhm.
that we would get the deal.
You get the deal.
That maybe you sell it to us for $4.
So what would it cost them to make that Arizona? And I wonder what they sell it for to the companies.
Who knows?
50 cents. They probably make it for 20.
I have no idea. Yeah, they probably 20 cents.
Yeah, it says Arizona is unable to control the price of what people resell it for.
Yeah.
Well, they can control the price if they wanted to.
Yeah, if they wanted to, they could say, we
Yeah.
just won't sell to you.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, okay.
Like he said, 99 cents on that can. That
Yeah,
changes everything.
Yeah, somebody tells them, "Oh, remove it," and I'll buy a whole.
Yeah.
Like, well, why? See, that doesn't happen with the stuff that we sell on eBay. You get all these companies that'll send you a Vero, or, saying that, oh, we don't want you selling our product or whatever, because it's underpriced compared to what they usually sell for. When I just bought it off Susan down the street.
Right.
Like I bought, maybe she had a couple of them, Like I don't have a whole case half the time. Even so, what would it matter? If she had a case in her basement, she brought up and put it out of the yard sale, and I bought the whole case.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to sell them for 20 and you're selling them for 30. You're going to have a fit because I'm,
yeah. I mean,
you know?
it is what it is.
Yeah. I don't have an unlimited supply. You do. Maybe, it's your fault that people are buying so much and they weren't even using your damn product.
We're a good product. That's the product, right? I mean, all that stuff was being bought, and then they just worthless.
Going back to reselling, I'm trying to buy this 1998 Ford Explorer, right? So the guy tells me, yeah, you can come by it today. I need to go on ASAP. I'm like, all right, where are you located? Because I can come now. And he says, come after 2, but still hasn't told me where to come to.
Dude, I don't know. So I know Marketplace used to be a great place to sell things at one point in time, and I still do use Marketplace to buy and sell things, but not as much buying because it's very difficult now. But selling things is still difficult, and I guess the best prompt you get is this available? Yes, this is available. Chirp, chirp, chirp.
I got that last night. I never post on Facebook Marketplace, and I did last night. And I was trying to sell these Mountain Dew tables. And somebody is, is this available? And yes, it is. And nothing else.
Yeah, I hate that.
Am I supposed to say more?
Well, no, you
I'll
can't.
go and say more. And nothing. There'll be nothing. Yes, it is available. When would you like to pick this up? We can meet, and then nothing.
Yep. Okay, to be fair, on some apps, I think OfferUp, and there's some other apps that they'll have the same type of automated buttons that you can hit. Is this still available? Because that's just automated. But my dad did that, I think, on OfferUp or one of those type of sites or apps, and he didn't even realize he was hitting the buttons. He's scrolling through. He's hitting the buttons on all. He hit probably on 20, 30 things. He's starting to get messages back. There's one on like a trombone, and they're like, because he asked if it was still available. And like, yes, it plays great. He's like, I didn't even want to answer.
I didn't want to play a trombone.
You know, and all kinds of stuff like whether it was like there was a diamond ring, like looked like he was trying to buy a diamond ring. And I'm like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, but I will say, Marketplace, I've had some good experiences on Marketplace. But like you said, you'll answer back quickly and then nothing. Mm-hmm. These people, or to take them half a day to answer back. Well, we were just having a conversation. What happened to you?
I'm going to say, on the other end too, I am bad at responding sometimes because I did have somebody I was trying. Well, I had some cards listed. It's just a shoebox full of like mostly 90s cards, baseball cards. But I had somebody twice ask me if I would take $20. I got $50 on it, and I just never responded.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
No.
So that's one thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's different though. Yeah. I mean, I've been in the middle of a conversation, had 2 or 3 sentences back and forth with these people, and I would say something, and they say nothing back, and it would take 12 hours for them to say something back. I'm like, what happened to you?
That would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
I tell you, 2017, 2018, 2019, dude, those were good times. Facebook.
Yeah, that was the peak of it.
Dude, I was
in another state.
Games after games after games. Just so much stuff.
That, and then when they came out with, when they released the shipping at first, it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And
then it just died. Yep.
I used to like Craigslist back in the day because there was a lot of free stuff on Craigslist.
I like Craigslist.
Yeah. It's not, it's terrible now. It's almost like AI generated. It's all bunk, really. 90% of it's all robot stuff, scam stuff.
Yeah.
So, Craigslist is, they need a whole revamp, I think.
Oh, I think they're done. There's no saving it.
Yeah,
they've already tarnished that reputation.
I know, but they could save it if they really put some effort.
They lost it when they didn't want anything to do with the Arcel Treasure Map app because that was one thing that was keeping them a little relevant.
That and Backpage, with prostitute stuff, you know what I mean? That hurt them a little bit. So, you joke, but it tarnished their image of
because there was a lot of
you could look.
Types of people.
You could look for anything, and you were seeing, prostitution stuff in every category. It's like, you're looking for a house, and meet Tanya. She's ready and available. Ebony chocolate. Call this number.
So it's kind of like it's no different than. It's different, but it's no different than on eBay. People will use all these keywords or spam, they'll keyword spam or they'll item specific spam. Like when I'm listing these sports cards, sometimes they'll put every freaking team.
Where are you going with this?
Huh? Well,
I've never had fellatio offered to me on eBay. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm saying so. Basically, they're cross-posting the categories and they're posting where they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Putting that in, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like if you're selling one product, you should stay in your category, stay in your lane, right? Well, why on eBay when I'm listing cards or I'm and I'll scroll down, I'll see in people's item specifics and I'll have a list of every team. It's supposed to be just the Baltimore Ravens, but it's got all the teams.
But it's everything.
I know we talked about that too.
It's like that for everything.
Everything.
Not just cards.
Say if you were looking up again, I'll go back to a PaperMate PhD pen. Why are you showing me anything that's not PaperMate and PhD pens, and you're showing me 750 things that aren't what it's I put in?
Well,
but that goes for everything, right?
But
or if I'm looking for Shohei Ohtani, why are you showing me Cal Ripken card?
Yeah.
Right at all.
But part of it is the sellers are putting the item specifics in there.
Yeah.
They'll have every version of the card listed in that item specific, and I'm it's stupid.
Yeah, you can just change the item specific. Just put what you want.
They made it worse.
Well, it's easy for them. The reason they do that because they're probably card sellers, so they just put all that on every card that they sell, and it's just duplicated on the PC.
Like, yeah, it's like a template.
That's it, and they just preload it, and so it's easier for them, right?
Yeah, they might.
I
just
think
want
it's
bulk.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I don't want my buyers thinking that they're getting this, and this, and this when they're only getting this.
yeah, why are you putting team name and you're putting every single team name on the item specifically?
I mean,
They do that.
that's a record. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, Lamar Jackson played for all 32 NFL
Yeah,
right.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, it really does. It doesn't make any sense at all. But
Doesn't make none.
nope,
Guys,
we don't make sense.
I
We
think
don't
we
make no
came to
sense.
the.
kind of came to a conclusion. It's the first time we did this. This is coffee talk or table talk. I don't know what it is. We're just talking, bro. We didn't have water talk, Arizona talk. But I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Absolutely. Please, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below.
Let us know how bad we suck because I couldn't even figure out the line.
Tell them how much of a wild card I am.
Yeah.
And watch them Craigslist ad that say ebony for sale.
Yeah, watch this Craigslist.
And if you do find any of that, put the link in the comment section and put it CC Delmar Review.
So I'm Jay.
I'm Kenny.
I'm Ray.
We're out.
Peace.
I didn't hit the button.